Pretty much like.
Oh.
That was a good question. It's.
My name is Sam Watkins. I'm the head coach of the Rangiora girls program, and I also was assistant coach of Flory McDaniels for the Waitaha under 15 girls A team.
My name is Connelly. I'm the head coach of the Rangiora boys basketball program. I also coached with the Waitaha under 19s this year. I also assistant coach the University of Canterbury tertiary men's team, tertiary nationals this year. Did a little bit of coaching with the Canterbury Knights, and and I coach a North Lowburn year 7-8 primary school team.
Making me look
We're
slack,
in Division One of North Canterbury Friday night basketball. McDonald's Friday night basketball.
Get that branding in there. Megan will be happy. Get that branding in there.
Yeah. and we're gonna compete, man. We got 7 players that play in the school, but we're going to compete.
How was that 40-point loss last week?
It was actually only 30.
Oh, was it 30? Oh.
And that was against... Okay, anyway, moving on.
What was your first basketball memory?
I grew up in Kashmir, so my first memory would be my mum taking me down to play in the hoops at Pioneer. Don't remember much of it. I remember a bit of my dad trying to coach on the sidelines when he doesn't really have much basketball knowledge, but that's just how he was. He was a really, really supportive person, and that was my first memory that kind of got me into it. And then when I moved out to North Canterbury, because I had some experience and people hadn't, I made some teams that I probably shouldn't, and some other people maybe should have. But it's about what you know, I guess.
My first basketball memory was playing knockout at Lowburn Primary School when I was like year 5. And it was only because I was dragged into it because I didn't really like basketball. And then when I was year 6 and I played my first game because all my friends were playing it, and I was left-footed and right-handed, so I could do right-hand layups, and I made my first 3 shots in my first ever basketball game, and everyone's like, "Whoa, you can do a layup?" And I was like, "I think so." And I got 3, and then that was it. And then I liked the game after that. Yeah.
What was the first team you coached?
First team I coached was, I got thrown into coaching a Amberley school year 5-6 team. They were looking for someone, and my mum knew someone who knew someone or something, and it was I got chucked in and was doing that and just fell in love with it, and it took off from there.
What was the first team I coached? I can't even think. I think the first team I coached was my own team when I was a year 7-8 at North Lowburn. And
the coach, big dog.
Yeah, I was the alpha then. And then, not anymore. And then, the coach didn't. I don't know, for whatever reason the coach wasn't there, I can't even remember. But I ended up coaching that team. And they didn't listen to me, of course. But yeah,
why would they?
I think, exactly.
Why would they? They don't listen to you now.
Because I was the alpha. Anyway, yes, that was probably my first coaching team I coached. Yeah.
Starting them young.
Yeah.
Who was the best coach that you had?
Ooh. Does it have to be basketball? No? I'd have to go with old Mr. Fahey, Jason Fahey. He's still running the first 11 team here at Rangiora High. Yeah, definitely would be my favourite coach that I've had. The best one, definitely one that I learned the most off of, both on and off the pitch. Yeah, definitely him.
Damn, my one's hard. I can't even really pick. Probably the one that made probably the biggest difference to me as a player was probably Mike Block. You remember Mike Block?
Yeah.
When I was under 13s and I was like starting to get into reps, Mike Block was the one that like made me get out and practice all the time. And then like when you start to notice a difference, you get like addicted to it. Yeah, so he's probably. But there's so many, like. Yeah, I can't even like. There's like Danny Wilson and Johnny Jones and like just all of them,
A lot of big names.
Pretty much all of, like, I don't know, like there's just so many. I can't even. I'd be here forever if I was naming all the people. I don't think I've ever had a bad one. Yeah.
Out of local coaches or like Canterbury. Oh no, he's could be New Zealand. But who's the coach that you look up to the most? Like just on a respect level.
When I first started out at North Canterbury, Tim Bennett's was still here. I was lucky to have a little bit with him, and yeah, that was definitely someone that helped improve my game now. And for the last couple of years, I'd have to say, apart from this guy next to me, we've done a lot together. I'd have to say George and Laurie have both taught me a lot over the last couple of years. Yeah, and I'm still learning from them, which is really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed working with Laurie this year. That was a really good time. Yeah.
Coach I look up to the most. I kind of guess like you take bits and pieces from different people.
Yeah, you take from everyone. Like
But-
it doesn't matter who you work with,
Yeah.
really. And it might not be good things; it might be bad things sometimes
Yeah.
as well. Maybe I'm not going to do that, but you know, you can take anything really
But
and
probably
run with it.
one that just sticks in my is Ben Sheet. Ben Sheet's probably the one that in my mind. Yeah, he helps me a lot with things when I got questions on stuff, and like I think he pretty much what Cashmere became through their time. That was like he did so much with them so well, and yeah, obviously the way he's worked through his coaching ranks pretty young is pretty cool. So yeah, I'd probably go Ben. But you get bits and pieces from everywhere, like Pete Van Hassel, and like how thorough he is with everything. Like I was lucky enough to coach under him as an assistant for like nights and tertiary stuff this year. He's just so ridiculously thorough with everything, and obviously that's why he's with the Rams as well. And like I learned
Under 23, 33
under
as well.
23 New Zealand 3-on-3. So yeah, I learned a lot of him as well.
I heard his scouting reports are next level.
Oh man. Well,
I've
actually,
heard.
funny that
I've
because
heard.
I learned a lot of his scouting reports this year, and then we took that and did a lot of that similar stuff with the girls this year at Nationals,
we
right?
kept it real simple so we didn't lose them.
Yeah, but like we simplified it down, but did a lot more on the scouting side of things like that, and like paid dividends.
Oh yeah, I was actually really impressed with how well the girls actually did with that. Like they actually took it in and studied it, and for the majority of our games up there, they actually did did really well with the scout. So cool.
Yeah. Oh, actually, can I add one more person in?
Yeah, sure.
As well? Jack Williamson.
Yeah.
Jack, like, I don't know, I just respect the heck out of what he does with his program.
Yeah. Nah. He
I
deserves
think
it.
I think he probably tries to do the more like I'd word that a different way. I think what they do is kind of the most similar to what we try and do here.
And I know you don't think you deserve the Coach of the Year nomination this year, mate, but you definitely did. So just take it and be proud. Yeah, you deserve that one.
In your stride, yeah. Yeah. That's it.
What do you admire in like a well-coached team? What stands out to you?
Culture. Culture is the number one. You can tell when teams have got a good culture because you see it when they walk in the door. It's just it's something that can be really hard to build, but can be lost like that. and teams that have, every team that has success comes down to culture, and I think that's the number one thing that you try to build into a program to be successful. It's something we're trying to work on, and I'd like to think we're doing a really good job with. Not always easy when your team's so young, but it's definitely the one thing that you notice, and that's probably why I would say it is why Middleton had such a great year, because their culture is unreal, unreal. Like, if you can get anywhere near that, you're doing a good job, I think. Hey?
Yeah. I think, for me on top of that, probably just elaborating that on a bit more, is the teams that don't seem to lose sight of what's actually important. You know, I don't know. It seems like in some places where you look and it's teams are just about we just want to win a basketball game, and then it's
or it's me.
Yeah, it's why are the kids playing basketball?
Yeah.
To help them elsewhere, or at the end of the day, just become better kids out of it, become better people.
Yeah.
So the schools that are really good on respect and all that kind of stuff, I appreciate seeing that.
100%.
And then probably just as from more of a in-game basketball perspective, just the teams that blatantly run their offensive stuff to a T, because that's really hard to get teams to do that. That's so hard, because kids watch NBA and want to go do their own thing. So to be able to get a team, when you see a team that clearly is all just running their stuff so perfectly, they obviously practiced it over and over and over, that's quite,
You have to buy into it, and you have to have a bit of belief in it as well.
Yeah.
If you're not buying into it as a group, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So leave it at that.
Because one thing I noticed about you, Sammy, is that you really care about your players.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but it's a two-way street, I think, as well. The girls have been, these girls especially have been almost like a shoulder to lean on at some points as well. And it's easy to do that when you're getting it back as well. It's a love thy neighbour type thing, I guess. But thanks for saying that. I appreciate that. But it's definitely a give take. And it goes both ways. Yeah.
We're good.
Oh. Let's go. Game.
Okay, is there a game that you wish you could re-coach over again? And why?
Pretty much
Oh.
that was a good question. It's hard because I wouldn't coach a lot of games differently knowing what I knew then, but knowing what I know now. If we play Josh Book again and they have the last possession, he doesn't. Don't let him touch it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if he does touch it, just swarm with a double team, make a pass to someone else, because then maybe there might be a chance that they might miss.
Yeah, I don't.
You saw some of the ones he hit on us. I think, yeah.
There's games there's big games that you lose, and you're you would want to have it again, but at the same time, it's sometimes you just lose to a better team. You could do everything that was in your power. You could have played your best game, but it just wasn't meant to be. Sometimes you just lose to a better team. Sometimes, and that's sport. It's sport really. Yeah.
I think probably that one of the things that's cool just about sport in general though, and probably just a life, thing, is that if you went back and coached a game differently, then it would kind of take all the. It would take all the feeling out of it, and you'd never you learn stuff from those games that you then
learn
can
more
apply.
from your losses.
It would take, if you could go back and do a moment again, then it would just ruin it. Nothing would be as special about any moment, you know?
Yeah.
The whole point of like when you have like a really good game or a really good moment, it's like a build up of all the times where you like didn't coach so well or whatever else. But that's just like in coaching, like that's for anything, right? There's so many, you know.
There was a game this year where we were down a couple points with about a minute left, and we didn't foul or something like that. And then I was driving home, and I was like, "Why didn't we foul?" I was like, "Why didn't we foul?" So I messaged. It was George's team. We were playing George's team. I messaged him, and I was like, "Why didn't we foul?" And he's like, I can't remember what he said. He just something like ripping me out. Just something ripping me out. I was just like, man, that was dumb.
But then next time you'll foul.
Oh no! Next time we lost by 40. We got drilled.
Next time.
Yeah. No, it was there's little things like that. But I mean, I agree with Liam. If you could go back and do it again, it takes all the emotion out of it, and it probably takes the joy out of it as well. I mean, it's why we do it, I guess. So, yeah.
Big time.
Cool. Biggest pet peeves as a coach?
Games or trainings or anything, both. One from.
And one on the third. Biggest pet peeve about other coaches.
Other coaches. Can I say? I got one about other coaches for this guy. Okay. When he came to us at Nationals, we're trying to set the standard with dress attire, and he just wouldn't buy into it. He wouldn't buy into it with his hoodie under his vest.
We're not in the NBA.
He didn't have his dress shoes on with his nice pants or anything. It's not suiting up. It was just dress pants with some dress shoes with a nice shirt. You know, have your school vest on. That's fine. No hoodies. Wouldn't buy into it. I managed to get him in some Jordan 11s. That's as far as I could get.
I like my Jordan 11s. But I also like to be a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like coach, I like to not be thinking about, oh man, this is so uncomfortable. I want to be locked in.
It's always about how I must admit, as soon as I get back, I'm always out of it straight away because it's so uncomfortable.
Exactly. I relax in my stuff all day.
One at training is when they're there and they don't put their boots on straight away. We had some boys in a few of the teams we've coached that were real bad at that, but the girls get there and they chat, or they're on their phones or something like that. Like, put your boots on, get on the court. Just so it's just that prep, so that you're ready to go. That one does me. Yeah.
Pet peeves.
I'm trying to think of one of
my pet peeves.
A game.
My pet peeves for coaches is probably like what I had talked about before, when it's like blatant that a coach just is not thinking big picture about a player or a kid or whatever else or what they're doing. It's like, we just want to win this game and that's it. And it's like, you know, do you want to? If you have that attitude every game, then you might go through and win a title one year, or your kid might go through high school and win a title or whatever else, and then they get out of school and what have they got from it? So it's like, you still obviously go for those wins and try to achieve whatever you can, but it's like, it's more important to be growing them as kids and all that kind of stuff, or growing them to whatever's going to help them at the next level of basketball or whatever else. So yeah, that's probably my pet peeve for coaches. Player-wise at training, it's just if a kid is not busting his ass at training, just like if he's walking back on defense at training, that does my head in. Yeah, and I know it does other players' heads in as well. Yeah, that's my biggest one, and it's not an easy thing to just you know, snap your fingers and address, and you say to that kid, oh, you got to sprint at training and whatever else. You know, sometimes it's bigger things than that, but
that's a big part of culture, though, playing away. Yeah, and like, again, it doesn't just happen with us nearly as much as what it has in the past, but that would be one of my biggest pet peeves with players. What was the other one? There was 3.
other coaches.
Yeah, I said that one.
Oh, you said that one.
I said
in
coaches.
the game?
In games. Biggest pet peeve in a game.
Like, did something this year make you rage? Something bothering you?
Oh, I broke my drink bottle at Nationals when I thought my point guard had dislocated his shoulder.
Oh, that was... Okay. Can I elaborate as to what my point of view was? Or you want to say why you broke the drink bottle?
Okay. Yeah, my view was that I thought it was a foul, so I had I had words with the referee to put my point across. It was a little bit frustrating because it was my starting guard, so I needed her in this game, and it was against a team we had already lost to twice this year. I'm not going to say it because people in the team are very close to me, and they're going to see this and they're going to give me stick for it. So anyway, I'm getting off topic now. So I got real frustrated with that, and I thought she was out. And as I walked back down the bench, I threw my drink bottle down because I was so angry, and I broke my $15 drink bottle that I had bought for Nationals.
It was right in front of me, and all the water went all over me. And I was doing stats feed, and I was sitting there, and I just was like, I just proceeded to like pick up the drink bottle real calmly, and then you
it
like,
went onto the
down.
court behind us, and all the Tower boys were looking at me like, who's this guy?
And then you sat down, and you're like after you know, and you're like, sorry, my bro, and you're like, shit, I really like that drink bottle.
It was a good bottle. It was a good bottle. I was annoyed that I was annoyed that I broke it, but heat of the moment. Threw my toys really in a way.
Yeah. I don't really.
There probably was another one.
Yeah.
There would have been more than another one. I'm sure if the girls were here, they'd be yelling out a whole bunch. But
Yeah.
Long season. We played a lot of games this year. Like we went to Aussie, we had Whelan, we had South Islands and Nationals as well. We played a lot of games. Yeah.
I don't think I really have any pet peeves in game stuff. Probably the thing that makes me most frustrated. I don't really get that frustrated sort of like in game, but like after game, I'll get real frustrated. And that's probably if we lose to a team we shouldn't have lost to, because we come in the game and just like
think you're gonna win.
Pretty much. Yeah, and that will be the thing that makes me most frustrated like afterwards. Yeah.
Or losing to someone that you like know well off the court. Like losing to a good friend or someone like that sucks.
You don't need to go back into it. We've said it already. You're digging yourself a hole.
Yeah.
Moving
on. I got more than one friend. I could be talking about a different game.
I got more than one friend. Yeah.
What are your goals for the upcoming season?
Get back to Nationals. It was good for us to get there, and it was good for the girls to see the level, like where they need to be playing at if they want to be there. And I think if not all of them, almost all of them took something away from it, thinking, okay, I need to get better at this, I need to get better at this. And it's like secondary school nationals is by far, personally, I feel it is by far the best basketball tournament that New Zealand holds.
It's the best sports. What's the best sports tournament?
I don't know. So it's to get back there would be good, and win a few more games would be good as well, because we could have won some that we let slip. To do well locally is nice as well, but nationals is always the big goal. It's where we want to get, and it would be good to be, the girls here were, a powerhouse in Christchurch for years, and were a show-in for nationals, and we want to get back to that, and we're on the right track. So hopefully we can get back there.
Our goals for the upcoming season are just the same as what they always are, what have been for the last probably 3 years, and that's that they become better players, and that they get better at all their values-based stuff that can then help them at their career or their relationships or whatever else. And then what you end up finding is that then they just become better basketball players, just because it's like that whole thing with the All Blacks, with like what I say, better people make better All Blacks or something like that. It's the same kind of deal. And that doesn't mean you don't have other goals as well, but at the end of the season, if I look back, I'm like, man, they all really got better at that stuff, and that's like a success, despite whatever result we got. But in saying that, you probably can't achieve a lot of those results unless you have an aim of where you're trying to get results-wise as well, because that's something they need to push for. Like, one of our values that we have is like they have to aspire for stuff. So maybe you aim for something that's a little bit higher than what maybe you should get, kind of thing. So you have to still have that goal in mind, but that's not how I would determine the success of it. I'll use Lockie as like a really good example, like who has like really, really good like leadership skills and like people skills and all that kind of stuff. Well, sometimes he gets grumpy at his own brother, but like pretty outside of that, you know, if he doesn't end up having a like further career basketball wise, will he be able to achieve whatever he wants like outside of that?
Well, look at like Oki, like that guy is unreal with all the like young leader stuff that he does. Yeah, you know, and that like he's the same on the basketball court as well. Not that
basketball was the sole thing that led him to that, but you can't say that sport isn't part of help making him like that. Yeah. But even like if it's not increasing their values, a guy like you know, if guys are going out and getting scholarships to then pay for their education. Then that's basketball helping them in those areas, and then they can achieve more. So yeah.
Nice. Why do you coach?
Why do I coach? Sometimes I ask myself the same question.
Sometimes I sit up.
A lot of times this year I asked myself that question. Why am I doing this? No, it's the same as why I'm trying to teach as well. Really, it's a bit of giving back. It's a bit of, without sounding too cheesy or anything, I guess, about moulding young minds, trying to pass on what I can. But I just thoroughly enjoy it as well. Like if I could choose to be Popovich, or if I could choose to be LeBron or KD like that, I'd take Popovich every day of the week. I'd much rather be a really good coach than a really good player. I just enjoy it way more than playing. And like I feel like, without being real cocky, I feel like I have a knack for it as well. It just kind of comes naturally for me in a way. Maybe not the X's and O's stuff, but like relationships and stuff like that. The other big, culture stuff is the big picture stuff is kind of comes as a second nature to me sometimes, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah.
Why do I? Well, I coach sport for my job, for my career. So I've probably thought about it maybe a bit more. But the reason I coach is because I think sport in particular, there's like all kinds of things that people can be involved in with groups and stuff, but I think sport in particular teaches kids the best values stuff that can then help them achieve whatever else they want to achieve. And so I feel like by helping that, promoting that, and being able to teach kids within that, teaching them the right way within that, that's making the biggest difference to the world that I can. I think that's probably could go out and be a global rights activist, but I'm probably not so good at that. So,
pretty much what I said, but I just didn't say it as well as you.
Yeah, whereas I pretty much had to put this on my CV and stuff. So, but yeah, basically, sport makes the biggest difference, I think, and if I can help do that and change a lot of kids' lives and things like that, then that's why I do it. Yeah.
And this year's been really tough as well. Not doing as much. Like I had to turn down under 13s, which was really hard for me. I've done that one for 3, almost 4 years now. And that one was really hard for me to turn down, and I found myself kind of sitting at home in the second week of school holidays just with a bit of FOMO. And I've had to turn down a whole bunch of stuff just because it hasn't worked for me, and other life events. I guess it's just it hasn't worked for me. So this year's been tough, but the flip side of that, I've been able to put more into the teams that I have been working with as well. So there's positives and negatives to all of it, I guess. Yeah.
Cool.
Easy. Sorted.
Nice.
100%.
Done.
Very good.
We're dusted. It's a pleasure to interview with you, my friend.
Nice. Shot bro. Appreciate it.
God damn, we went for a while.
How long did we go for?
That was
Oh, damn.